Last time I was telling y'all a story, I was talking to Angelica Budabadu in the jail, right? In the prison. Jubabadu in the prison. And I was asking her about where my engagement ring was. I said, Angelica, you ragged-head hag, you tell me where my engagement ring is. And she said, why, Magnolia, there's no need to talk to me that rudely now, is there? Now, I don't know anything about your precious little engagement ring. But if you're here out of spite or jealousy for me and Reginald Johnson, well, I'm afraid that I've gotten my comeuppance, and I simply don't have anything else to give you, Magnolia. I said, Angelica, I know you're lying through your yellow old teeth. Now give me my engagement ring back. She said, Magnolia, I might tell you where your engagement ring is, but you'll have to do something for me first. I'll tell you what that thing is. You see, you'll have to get me out of this here prison and get me into heaven. I said, Angelica, nothing can get you into heaven, my dear. Oh. She said, why? Well, I guess you just won't get your engagement ring back. I said, Angelica, I hate you with all of my rotten old heart.
Plenty of time to make
But I need that ring back, and I will get you into heaven, by God, if that's what it takes. She said, God's the only way you can do it. Get it? I said, I get it, Angelica. Stop. So then I set out to get Angelica Dubabadu into heaven. I looked all over for somebody who might have some kind of a way to walk or ride or float into heaven, but whoever I asked in purgatory, they said, well, if I knew, I'd be in heaven. I said, that makes a lot of sense. So then I decided to go to the only person who is divine enough to know anything about that. I went back to Reginald Johnson.
Weren't you in Reginald Johnson?
I climbed out of his belly button. like some strange calf being live birthed. I stuck my hands through there.
Still waving?
I thought it was still waving. Still waving.
Are you recapping the story?
No, I'm coming back out of his belly button to ask him how to get Angelica Dubabadu into heaven. I stuck my hands out of his belly button. I pulled my head through just enough to talk to him. So he had an old woman's head sticking out of his belly. I said, Reginald Johnson, do you know how to get into heaven? He said, well, I only know one way to get into heaven, and that's called sex. I said, oh, I know full well, Reginald Johnson. Wink. But I'm afraid you can't have sex with this woman as she is inside your belly button. He said, well, that's a problem. I don't know how to get anybody from purgatory into heaven. I said, Reginald Johnson, surely there has to be some way. I mean, you're all Satan now. What? Surely you can pull some strings. He said, well, I know one person who can do it, and he's dead. I said, that ain't a problem, seeing as we were in hell. So I pulled my way all the way out of his belly button. I said, see you later, Reginald Johnson. I'm going to need to climb back in there a little later, so just hang tight. So I ran all the way through hell. I searched and searched, and then I found him.
So it's open when you get back?
That's not how belly buttons work, child.
That's funny, though.
I searched and searched, and finally I found him. The man I was looking for. Jefferson Davis, former president of the Confederacy of the United States of America. I said, Jeffy, we had some good times together. He said, why, yes we did, Magnolia. And I said, I think that you know how to do something that I'm going to need to know how to do. You know how to get into heaven. He said, well, I do know how to get yourself into heaven, but you need a magic bullet to do it. A magic bullet. I said, well, I can find anything if I have sex with enough people. I'm gonna find this magic bullet, and I'm going to shoot Angelica Dubabadu with it, as I have always dreamed of doing. So I went back to the earth. And I searched far and wide. I searched for that magic bullet, and finally...
You made my imposter yet. Can you quit telling historical things?
Who the hell are you?
Grandmama.
Get out of here!
Grandmama.
Get!
Stop kicking me, Grandmama.
Get!
Grandmama.
Finally I found him. The man with the magic bullet. His name?
Josh.
Abraham Lincoln. John Wilkes Booth.
Oh my God. The horse and the human.
The human!
Okay, Magnolia.
I said, Johnny Wilkes, is that you? He said, why, Magnolia, it is only me, the famous actor John Wilkes Booth. I said, I think you have something that I need. He said, what is it, Magnolia? And I said, it's a magic bullet, Johnny, and I need it.
didn't do as good as I thought.
I'm pretty sure that bullet's in Lincoln's head.
Shh. I said, I need it to shoot Angelic Dubabadoo so she can get to heaven and I can get my engagement ring back. He said, why, that sounds like an awful relatable plot, but I misplaced my magic bullet in the theater. I believe it's in the balcony seat. I said, you shot somebody? He said, no, not yet. I said, okay, I'll go and find it. So I went up to that balcony seat while the play was going on. You see? And I searched under those people's bottles until I found it. I found the magic bullet sitting right under one of my past lovers' little butt cheeks. His name? Abe Lincoln. He said, ho! Magnolia, what are you doing here? I said, oh, Abe, hey, nice to meet you. I just need this magic bullet. I'm gonna be gone. And then his wife got in an awful tizzy. She said, what are you doing, you witch? I know you had sex with my husband. I said, honey, you need some help. But she kept on clawing at scratching at my nose and eyeballs and mouth and several other orifices. My ears. What would you? My ears. So I did the only thing I could do. I put that magic bullet in my very own pistol and I aimed it at her face. But just as I was about to shoot, she moved her face and pow! Right in the back of old Abe's head. Suddenly John Wilkes jumps out from the shadows. He says, oh my God, you shot the President of the United States! He jumps down, breaks his leg. Weak legs. I mean, really, it's like not that far. He said, sic semper tyrannis. I said, what's that? He said, sick temper. Daenerys? I said, you watch Game of Thrones too? He said, yeah. I hope they bring Jon Snow back. And then he ran away. He just ran away. Okay, that's nice. So there I was, old Abe, sitting dead as a doornail, and me with the pistol in my hand. I threw it onto the stage.
Grandma, doesn't he die like in the morning, like hours later? Like he's still alive, he's kind of
Shoo!
Grandma,
Now who's telling this story, you little rat?
Grandma, you told it different last
Get out of here! Get out! I said get! So I said, I just wasted a magic bullet. What am I gonna do now? And then all of a sudden, out of the earth,
What was magic about it?
It sends you to heaven. Keep
magic.
How about the questions? Let him finish.
Damn.
They're buttholes.
Grandma, please.
All of a sudden, a great rift opened up in the earth. I said, holy hell, what is that? Reginald Johnson said, almost, lady. He grabbed my ankle. He tried to bring me down. He said, you shot the President of the United States. You're coming back to hell with me. I said, no, Lord Reginald Johnson. I will not go back to hell until I find my engagement ring. He said, the engagement ring? Well, I had that the whole time, honey. I said, what? You mean Angelica Dubabadoo was just pulling my leg the whole time? He said, yeah. Now I'm pulling your leg. Get it? You see? You get it? I said, shut up, Reginald. I said, shut up. It's not funny. I just wasted my whole time and shot the president because of some little misunderstanding. This is almost humorous, but I'm one of the characters in the plot, so it's not humorous to me. He said, that's just too bad, honey. He grabbed a hold of my other ankle, and he dragged me straight into hell. I was on the ground trying to get out, but he simply would not let go. I said, A.B., help me. He said, because he was dead. Because he was dead. I said, no! The earth closed in behind me. There I was, in hell, with the devil, who was also my ex-husband.
This story, Grandmama.
Shut the hell up.
Okay, Grandmama.
Shut the hell up.
Okay, Grandmama.
There I was, in hell, with Satan, who was also my ex-husband, Richard Johnson. The most divinely hellish man I ever met.
Grandmama.
Yes?
No, it's okay. Keep
You
going.
got something to say? No, say it. No, go ahead, say it to my face.
You told me you never had sex with Grandpa. No, don't, Grandma. Are you liars with Grandma? Alright, don't start this one.
So, there I was. And I said, Reginald, what am I gonna do with you? You was hiding my engagement ring the whole time. He said, yes, Magnolia, I was hiding it for one special purpose.
I got it.
I was hiding it for one special purpose. He said, Magnolia Benadryl, will you remarry me in hell? I said, oh my God, yes, I thought you would never ask.
Again.
Seriously, I thought you would never, what, yes though.
Yes, though.
So then I lived happily ever after in hell as the queen of all things horrible and evil. The end.